I'll make a move, we recess 5 minutes.
Second? All in favor?
All right.
We're reconvening the meeting.
Yeah, during the break, I had an opportunity to speak to my client, and he spoke, and I'm sure the residents will speak after, but he has indicated that he would agree to put the sign on a timer and shut it off at 11 o'clock. So,
Okay, Mr. Hale, and Mr. Montez, that's great. However, you raised a situation that we're concerned about also, and that is lighting your parking lot. I don't know what other lights you have now that would light up your parking lot, but I would suggest that for safety's sake and for security's sake, that you get lights that would meet engineering approval for your parking lot, so to make it secure and safe for, as you said, women or anyone else who could be leaving your establishment at a late hour.
Yeah.
And there are lights that you can get that would not be shining on the neighborhood, not be extrusive to the neighborhood, and would be meeting engineering standards that would, you could light your parking lot at dusk and to turn it off whenever, at 2 o'clock in the morning it could go off because it wouldn't hurt the neighbors at all.
Yeah, I didn't.
I think that's something we would insist on.
My intention was not to say that the sign was going to light my parking lot. I do have light there. I have the old George's lights, which are spotlights, and I do have the street lamp, which is a huge street lamp with a solar panel. I was just merely saying that I'm assuming some light is going to come off.
what we
You were
can,
trying to get us to leave the light on longer. That's what you were trying to do.
what I can do,
Sir.
we can speak to, we can talk to Mr. Hatter and a lighting consultant and make sure that the property is adequately lit
That's
for
our
security.
concern.
Yes.
Excuse me, that was my intent when I said about 7-Eleven. They have their lights shining on their property. I hope you would pick it up that I said that you put the lights on with the street.
Yeah.
I have one. The ones with the solar panel. It's one of those in my parking lot, so
Okay,
All
it's
right.
pretty well lit. Yes, sir. There's one.
so I was right. Okay. let's move on.
Okay, so I assume we're done asking questions? Mr.
I do want to make certain that you're talking about, I would suggest, I can't force you to do that because we're talking about a light, your sign that's going to go off at 11 o'clock. You're not open, obviously, every day of the week. Possibly one of those 7-day timers that goes on and off when you're only open, and that doesn't even go on the days you're not open, and goes off at 11 o'clock, something of that nature, because I don't think you need it to put on when you're closed. Is that correct? Or are you indicating you want it on when you're closed? I mean,
No, I don't want it on when I'm closed.
all right, so
Yeah,
just a
it'll be on
suggestion, that's all.
During hours of operation until
Right.
11 o'clock.
I also wanted to ask you, not to change the subject, if I may, Mr. Chairman, about your car. Not how many miles are on it, but what do you do in the way of security for the car? I mean, people pass her by. Can people jump in it or climb on it, or do you have any kind of a security or safety setup for the car when it's parked out front?
There he is.
You got the bouncer here?
Is that
Is that
answer? He's a doorman.
you protect the car, sir?
So what do you need the lights for?
Okay.
All right.
The car,
Very
the
good.
car,
And also, well, we'll talk about this later. Go ahead. That's all.
the car comes and goes. It doesn't. It's not staying on the property permanently.
I drive that car
Okay.
to and from work. Sometimes it stays. It's a 40-year-old car. Sometimes it has a little trouble getting up and going. I would say that. I mean,
But it's not going to stay on the it's not going to stay on the sidewalk.
well,
In other words, he's asking you if, when you're not there, is the car going to be on, he's telling you he doesn't want the car on the sidewalk when you're not there, when the business is
don't want the
closed.
car on the sidewalk when I'm not there.
No.
No.
For the safety of the car, especially.
The car's fine.
Get it off the sidewalk. We would insist on, at least I would. I don't know how my colleagues would feel, but I would insist that when you're not there and the business is closed, that car can't be there.
Plus the bouncer's not there, so.
Well, part of it, I mean, there
cars-
may be times
The
where,
car's on the sidewalk during business hours.
well, there may be, like, it's closed, I believe, several days of the week. I'm sure that, like, during those days, there's an attraction. he's in the area or working in the restaurant, it's certainly...
I think it's overnight, I think is the situation that we're concerned with. I don't want it there overnight. Get it out of there.
So well, like I said, it's an old car. I mean, it's 40 years old.
It's only got 62,000 miles on it.
40 years
Put it
old.
in the par- You can put it in the parking lot.
Yeah, my problem with that is there's a lot of kids hanging out by the CVS.
The 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
Yes, it's a
They
draw.
can trash it.
It's a draw to the kids.
So I wouldn't want to
Business of
suggest.
operations, you have somebody there looking at the car, you got people, so there's nobody hanging by the car. So if it's not there during the business hours, it's gonna be safer for the neighborhood and for the cars.
So pull it off the front and put it in the parking lot.
Yeah, get it off there. We're giving you the variance to keep it in the front. I shouldn't say
During-
we're giving it, we
during-
haven't voted yet. But, you know, if we
During
allow
the
you the
hours of
variance, if
operation.
we allow you the variance, or myself, if I allow you the variance to put it in the front,
Right.
then one of the conditions in my case would be that you
During the
not
hours
leave it
of
there
operation.
overnight.
If, just a scenario, and thank you very much.
Let me just ask you this, where you have it parked right now, underneath where the sign is, that's a legitimate parking space?
Yes.
So that's what we're suggesting, move it to that space.
So if the car, which eventually will stop running, but it'll still be the red Cadillac restaurant, I'll have to come back and get a variance to leave the car there permanently.
Either that or fix the car.
It's very hard to find parts for a
sorry?
1968 Cadillac. I'm just saying, if the car becomes inoperable, then I
With
lose.
Steve Hale's prices, it's cheaper to fix the car.
It's not a matter of wanting to fix it, sometimes you can't fix it.
Thanks, Al.
Anytime.
Why don't you cross that bridge when you come to it? Let's hope your car runs forever,
Thank you.
okay?
Okay,
All right, let's go. Got 10 minutes.
Good
all right.
point.
So do we have